Did you know there's an elevator that doesn't take you to another floor, but to another time? A place between memory and reality, where people step in, the doors close, and when they open again, they remember lives they've never lived. This is the story of the elevator that stops at yesterday. In downtown Chicago, there's an office tower built in the 1950s. 30 floors tall, gray concrete, forgotten by time. By day it looks ordinary. Secretaries rushing with coffee, printers humming, the buzz of fluorescent lights. But late at night, when the building is nearly empty, one elevator behaves differently. It's the oldest one. Elevator B. The brass doors are worn. The floor indicator above it flickers between numbers, and sometimes it lights up on a floor that doesn't exist, floor Y. The first to report something strange was James Calloway, a night janitor. He said he was cleaning the 18th floor when the elevator doors opened behind him. No one was there, but the panel inside glowed, floor Y. Curious, he stepped in and pressed lobby. The elevator moved, slowly, too slowly. He said he felt weightless, as if his body wasn't moving, but his memories were. When the doors opened, it wasn't the lobby. It was the same 18th floor, but everything was different. The walls were painted blue. The desks were older. A woman sat at one, typing on a machine he didn't recognize. She looked up, smiled, and said, "You're late again, honey." James had never seen her before, but the sound of her voice made him cry. After that night, James stopped showing up for work. Security footage showed him entering the elevator at 2:47 a.m. He never came out. A week later, a new cleaner took his shift, and one night the same elevator opened, to the same flickering Y. She didn't go in, but she heard something, voices, muffled, like an office full of people talking behind the door. But that floor had been abandoned for decades. Over the next few years, more stories surfaced. A delivery driver pressed lobby, but ended up somewhere else, a version of the lobby that looked like it did in the 1960s. A woman in a blue dress asked him, "Have we met before?" When he blinked, she was gone. An insurance agent swore that when he entered the elevator, the lights dimmed, and he saw flashes of his childhood, scenes he didn't remember living. He said he felt like he was watching someone else's memories through his own eyes. Then there was Dr. Eleanor Weiss, a psychologist who studied déjà vu. She interviewed witnesses who'd all ridden elevator B. Every one of them described the same feeling, that the elevator was alive, that it was showing them pieces of a life they were supposed to remember. In 1998, Dr. Weiss convinced the building owners to let her study Elevator B. She entered with 2 assistants and a camera crew. The doors closed. The footage they recovered was unsettling. The elevator began moving on its own. None of them had pressed a button. The indicator flickered, 10, 15, 18, then Y. The lights dimmed. The elevator stopped. When the doors opened, the hallway beyond looked untouched by time. 1950s decor, cigarette smoke, phones ringing, secretaries in vintage dresses. Dr. Weiss stepped out and whispered, "This can't be real." One of the assistants asked, "Where are we?" A voice from down the hall answered, "You're home." The tape cuts there. Dr. Weiss and her assistants were never found. Decades later, when the building was sold, renovation crews discovered a locked compartment behind the elevator shaft. Inside was a small metal box labeled "Temporal Anomalies, Do Not Operate." Inside the box were memos from the building's original engineers. They wrote about a prototype elevator model designed to save energy by syncing with magnetic fields underground. But one memo stood out. Test 7. The car descends normally, but occupants report auditory hallucinations. Some claim to see their deceased relatives. One engineer said the elevator stopped on a floor that wasn't part of the blueprint. "We advise sealing this model indefinitely." They sealed it, but the building never removed it. Today, the building still stands. Most tenants avoid the old elevator, but those who've accidentally taken it say the same thing. When the doors close, they hear faint music, old jazz, maybe from the 1940s, and sometimes they see reflections in the mirror that aren't theirs. One woman said she saw a man standing behind her, wearing her father's hat. Another swore she saw a younger version of herself smiling in the mirrored walls. And then there was Eli Turner, a delivery technician who took the elevator last winter. When the doors opened, he said he stepped into an apartment, his own, but not quite. The furniture was different, the wallpaper faded, and sitting on the couch was his wife. The problem? His wife had died 3 years earlier. She looked up and said, "You came back." Eli ran, pressed every button. When the doors reopened, he was back in the lobby, but he wasn't the same. He quit his job, stopped talking to anyone, and 3 weeks later, he disappeared. Some say the elevator doesn't move vertically, it moves backward. Not in distance, but in time. That floor Y doesn't mean a letter at all, it means yesterday. Every time someone steps in, the elevator finds the moment their heart aches for the most, the one they never got to finish, and takes them there. But there's a catch. You can't visit the past without becoming part of it. That's why no one who stays ever returns. In 2021, the building hired a new property manager, Lena Graves. She dismissed the rumors until one evening she stayed late and heard the elevator running on its own. Curious, she checked the control panel. Elevator B was active, but no one had called it. When she approached, the doors opened. Inside was a single object, a red handbag. Old-fashioned, covered in dust. Lena picked it up. Inside, she found an ID card. Name, Dr. Eleanor Weiss. Date of issue, 1998. The elevator chimed softly. The panel flickered. Floor Y, Lena stepped back. The doors closed, and they never opened again. Today, elevator B still operates. Sometimes the maintenance crew locks it off, but somehow it always reactivates. Late at night, when the building is empty, people walking by say they can hear it moving between floors. Doors opening, music faintly playing, and if you listen closely, you can hear the echoes of people whispering names you might recognize. So if you ever find yourself in an old building waiting for the elevator, and one opens by itself, check the floor indicator. If it says Y, don't step in, because the elevator might not take you where you expect. It might take you to yesterday.